These days, cyberbullying has become a more pressing and serious matter as more people are spending their time on social media. The main idea is, can we punish these individuals or so-called internet vigilantes without using the law? Assalamualaikum and good morning to the honorable adjudicators, timekeepers, my fellow speakers and members of the floor. I am Hikmah Zafirah, the first speaker of the opponent side. I strongly believe that everyone is aware of the motion today, hence allow me to mention it again and to clearly emphasize it. A law should be introduced as to punish netizens on the act of cyberbullying remarks. We, the House of the Opposition, disagree with the given statement. What is cyberbullying? According to UNICEF, cyberbullying is bullying with the use of digital technologies. It can take place on social media, messaging platforms, gaming platforms, and mobile phones. It is repeated behavior aimed at scaring, angering, or shaming those who are targeted. Examples include spreading lies about or posting embarrassing photos of someone on social media, sending hurtful messages or threats via messaging platforms, impersonating someone, and sending mean messages to others on their behalf. United Nations Children's Fund, also known as UNICEF, is a United Nations agency responsible for providing humanitarian and developmental aid to children worldwide. UNICEF's activities include providing immunizations and disease prevention, administering treatment for children and mothers, enhancing childhood and maternal nutrition, improving sanitation, promoting education, and providing emergency relief in response to disasters. According to Merriam-Webster, netizens are an active participant in the online community of the internet. The term netizen has spread widely since it was first coined. The genesis comes from net culture based on the original newsgroup naming conventions by Michael Hauben and Rhonda Hauben. Ladies and gentlemen, as the first speaker of opponent side, it is my responsibility to strengthen the idea and belief of our opinions that there are other ways for us to prevent and stop cyberbullying from happening other than using law. Prevention is better than cure. Are you familiar with the saying? This can be practiced into our topic today. How, you may ask? The evolution of the internet and technology differs from each generation. However, the main base would all come back to guidance and supervision. As adults with a standard sense of moral and is exposed early to the internet, for example, maybe adults with children or growing adolescents whom are curious about said internet. They should be responsible in guiding and evaluating the things that said child are surfing on the internet. These days, there are programs or devices which can prevent minors to search suspicious and inappropriate stuffs. Be reminded that a child's mind is like a dry clay and is easily impressed with the things they are exposed to by their guardians. Once imprinted, it will remain and creates a child's personality and opinions that will be exposed and expressed to the rest of the world, and that it is important to filter those imprints so they grow into a reasonable individual in the future. Now, let's come back to the rest of my findings on this matter. Still touching on the supervision part, as it is a very broad and wide spectrum, it is actually advised that the child should be given a certain amount of time which does not suffocate nor pamper the child into demanding more time to waste on the internet. What does this have to do with preventing cyberbullying? Well, my fellow opponents, this creates personality, instills discipline to one individual, teaches them how to appreciate their well-given time for the leisure. It also decreases the possibility of a child to engage in any suspicious websites, or culture that the internet has to offer. As I said before, children are easily impressed and they are also easily influenced. According to lawyer Muhammad Hafiz Hood, who has also handled lawsuits brought by clients who was landed on social media, called for specific legislation to check the incidence of cyberbullying. He said the existing law, such as the Communications and Multimedia Act and the Penal Code, may not be sufficient to control cyberbullying. He also said that the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia and Cybersecurity Malaysia should also step up the monitoring of social media use among adolescents and also consider making compulsory for users to register their social media accounts in their original names. Why? It is because the deluge of fake accounts has led to the widespread prevalence of cyberbullying. For those who don't know Penal Code is the system of legal punishment in a particular place. Other than that, parents also need to monitor their children's online activities by installing monitoring apps on their smartphones. The apps will allow parents to monitor their children's social media activities such as YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. Not only that, parents also can view all text messages, even the deleted ones, and call logs. Parents can also block and control their children's phone remotely. You may think that why parents need to do this far, but if you think carefully, this is the only way for parents to prevent cyberbullying before it becomes worse. Many teenagers think the reason for their parents do not want to give them mobile phone is because their parents do not love them. It is natural for them to think like that because most of teenagers around this age have their own phone. But it is also natural for parents to do that because they care about their children. No parents would like to see their children involved with bad influences. Parents who give phones to their children at a young age should teach their children to keep their personal stuff private and think before posting anything in social media. Why? As eerie as it sounds, technology has a way to debunk or decipher things with even the slightest details, and now social media allows location when posting a photo. Hence, that could be very dangerous for individuals, especially youngsters. Members of the floor, with all the points that I have mentioned, it is clear that it is necessary to punish netizens on the act of cyberbullying. It all comes back to how we were brought up to this world, disciplines and monitoring. Thank you.